bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Glad to be part of your hump day. It's the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and 107 The Score mobile app. Choice, Matt, Brennan, Jimmy, all with you this afternoon. You'll keep the comments coming in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. A couple of those there on the chat line. This one says, who could be more uptight than Jamie? Was he in your top two?
No.
Oh.
I don't think Jamie's uptight. I think
his nickname's Uncle Upright.
I know, but I think Jamie's just one of those, he's just set in his ways kind of guy. Like, I don't think it's uptight, though.
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
That's fine. I'm
like, if you know what Jamie likes, it's not like it's hard to get along with the guy.
That's true.
Now, if you're trying to sell him on something, you're probably going to ruffle some
have
feathers.
A darn good salesman, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Was that the last year of Lloyd Carr, the first year of Rich Rod, when App State upset Michigan? Rhonda says she thinks Jerry Moore was App State's coach. At one point he was, yep. Michigan was ranked 5th when that upset happened, and their running back Mike Hart was the leading candidate for the Heisman. I think he still finished in the top 10 in Heisman voting. App State's coach was Jerry Moore. That was the head coach, who was the head coach here at Tech in the 80s. That's from Mr. B. Yep. Man, what a game. Yeah. That one was just one that stuck. I mean, there's certain games you're like, holy cow, you remember where you were, remember watching those games. And I remember when that happened, and it was shocker.
I put that up there with the Boise State-Oklahoma game.
That's way up there, too.
You know what I mean? Like, that I will never forget.
Memory of college football games that stuck. I think a lot of fans also remember, obviously, the Tech and Texas game that are not Tech or Texas fans, because they're just the shock and awe that came with the games. Like, those college football moments just stick with you if you're
They remember the catch.
Fan. Oh, yeah.
What they don't remember is the dropped interception by Giddy,
Very few
right?
remember that one. Yep.
And then
Gilbert, right?
It wasn't Gilbert. Started with a G. Number 33, I'm almost positive, for UT. Dropped the interception. I thought it was like Gideon or something like that.
Yeah, you're right. It is Gideon.
And then they don't remember after we scored that we had to kick the ball off from like the 5-yard line because fans couldn't stay off the field. Then I was nervous.
I got a little puckered up there, but man, the what ifs of.
Were you there?
Uh-huh.
Yes, I was too. Yeah.
Yep. All right, so up at doubletsportsnetwork.com, you can find our staff's Big 12 championship game predictions. This is who's going to play in it and who will win. Some went with an actual score. Some just went with who's going to beat whom. And I think we got, 19 different predictions on here. Maybe not that many, but quite a few. So I will go through these without tagging a name to them. Texas Tech defeats Baylor. Texas Tech 35-30 over Arizona State. Texas Tech over Baylor. Texas Tech over Baylor. Utah 27, Tech 24. Texas Tech 28, Arizona State 24. Tech over Iowa State. Kansas State over Arizona State. Tech over Baylor. Tech over Baylor. Tech over Baylor. Tech 31, Baylor 17. Tech over Arizona State. Tech over Baylor. Tech over Baylor. Tech 21, Iowa State 17. Tech 27, Baylor 23. Tech 35, Iowa State 24. There's some trends in there, I would say. One trend is all but one picked Tech to be in the Big 12 championship game. A lot of Baylor in there as well, including you and I. You can go see who all went with what if you want to go to doubletsportsnetwork.com. First, before we get to our explanations, what is the least likely of anybody's pick? Who do you think is the least likely to end up in the Big 12 championship, or whose scenario is the least likely?
Lucas.
I think so. And I believe, not to take a shot at Lucas, I believe we were asked these.
No disrespect.
I think we were asked these after this weekend, right? Or was this the beginning of the week, or was this last week? This was the beginning of this week,
Monday.
right? So this was after a Kansas State loss.
Yeah.
And he picked Kansas State over Arizona State. That is bold to pick a team that's already 0-1 in league play to pick them to win the Big 12 championship. Because basically Kansas State has at the very most one more loss allowed. At the most.
That's what I was about to say. Is you're pretty much
may not
saying
even get in with one
they're
more
going to
loss.
run the table is what you're saying. They're going to run the table the rest of the year.
So I'm with you. And there's really not a lot of differences.
Other options.
I mean, Collier's the only one that picked Utah to be in the championship game, and he had Tech losing to Utah. And then there's a smattering of Arizona State and Iowa State,
yeah,
and then a whole lot of Baylor.
It is ironic that for a very long time, no one liked the Tech game against Baylor at Jerry World. And now a lot of people are like, yeah, I would love to go watch Tech and Baylor in the Big 12 championship. Like, I think a lot of people would like to see that matchup.
I'm irked that you're not playing it. We'll get into this later. The SEC just schooled the Big 12 on scheduling. They just showed the Big 12 up on scheduling because they went to pods. They went to a different system. And it is absolutely stupid that Texas Tech and Baylor are not scheduled to play this year.
Yeah.
Even more so than TCU. I probably have more hatred for TCU.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But Baylor's your long-standing rival. They are. There's been some ugly games in the series, but I think the series is within 2 games all time.
Okay.
Baylor leads it by 2 right now, 42-40 or something like that. Going off the noggin on that one. But you've played them every year, every single year since 1956, and this is the first year you're not going to.
Yeah, but
unless you play them in the championship.
This is what happens when you add more teams. I mean, stuff's going to break.
But you shouldn't do it at the expense of breaking through some former rivalries or previous rivalries. That's the problem.
Would you have this same stance if there was 20 teams in the conference?
Yeah, keep
You've got to rotate, though. Right?
Sure, you've got to rotate, but that's where the pods work out.
I'm with you, and I'm playing more of devil's advocate. I mean, I guess it's upsetting, but
that's where the pods work out, because you can say, hey, these 3 teams will play each other it's
no matter what.
NFL scheduling, basically.
Yeah.
You can sit here and say this is your division within the entire conference.
Yeah.
And you're going to play them every single year no matter what, and then we'll rotate around everybody else.
Yeah.
It works out. It's fine. Yes, there's going to be years that one pod is way tougher than the rest, and maybe that does hurt at times, but, man.
I think that balances out, though, like strength of pods. Like,
I think
as
so.
through time, everybody has their ups and downs. But I'm with you. I think that Baylor should have 100% been on the schedule and stayed on the schedule. And
so why did you choose what you did, Texas Tech over Baylor? Because you can answer for a lot of people here.
Yeah.
Also chose it.
Well, I think Tech has the most talented team in the Big 12. I get it. Our station's based in Lubbock, Texas. But aside from that, I think you would be hard for anybody in any other Big 12 team doing a radio show supporting their local university to not say that. I think that clearly the number 1 transfer class as well. So I think that Tech deserves that spot or that nod for me. Baylor ended the season well last year, and I think that they continue that rolling into this year. I've never had much faith in Kansas State. I almost picked Iowa State after watching the game Saturday. Like I said, I understand it's raining. Everybody, that was the comment was, well, the ball's wet, the hands are wet. Well, I don't know if you ever put on a wide receiver glove in today's football. Those things are sticky. The rain to me makes no exception. So I think there was both of them teams just didn't perform, and I get it was in Dublin, it was across the pond or whatever you want to say. I just didn't think those two teams won it. I don't think Arizona State has enough people returning. So that's kind of just process of elimination got to Baylor.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Thanks for hanging out on a Wednesday. It's the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. Choice, Matt, Brennan, Jimmy, all with you this afternoon. We will return to a handful of your thoughts on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Get back to some of those here shortly. Before we do, let's go ahead and hit Kaylee's Dailies.
Kaylee's Dailies, now presented exclusively by Chuck Hines Enterprises.
Matt, as we continue with College Colors Week, we'll highlight another unique mascot in collegiate sports. Introducing the Campbell University
Soup.
Solid, but no. Either of you got it across the way? I did know this one.
The Fighting Camels.
There you go.
There you go.
The Campbell Camels. This origin of this mascot begins with great tragedy. Campbell University was founded in 1887 by James Archibald Campbell. Campbell was established in Bwee Creek, a small suburb outside of Raleigh, North Carolina. But in 1900, Campbell would literally go up in flames as the entire wooden structure of the school burned to the ground.
Oh, wow.
The story goes as Campbell was hunched down on the ground watching his life's work burn away. His friend, a local architect, comes up to him and says, "I thought camels only had two humps," referring to Campbell hunching on the ground like a camel. It's said that Campbell either misheard or misinterpreted, but he listened and enlisted his architect friend to help him rebuild a temporary structure for the school for them to finish the school year. His misunderstanding of Campbell for a camel led Campbell to eventually change the name of the mascot from the Hornets to the Campbells.
Okay.
There's your tragic start to a mascot. That's Kaylee's Daily. All right, so earlier we talked about Jimmy doing his homework, watching Hoosiers. You said you didn't think Hoosiers was in your top 10 of sports movies. It's probably in my top 5. You put together a top 10.
I did.
Tear through them. Go.
Okay. Keep in mind, these are my sports movies,
Well,
okay?
Of course.
These aren't
I'm not asking you
everybody.
to rank someone else's.
I know, but everybody, I can already hear it now. They're in sports movies.
I'm going to, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to.
Green Street Hooligans is one of my favorite movies ever.
Never heard of it before you said it a little bit ago.
Oh, my gosh. It's definitely not probably a per se sports movie more than it is a action movie. Anyways, it's got to do with football. Soccer.
Okay.
Soccer.
Football.
Blood sport.
Okay, man, you were already off to an interesting start. Have not
It's
seen
based
it.
on a true story.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, though.
You've never seen Bloodsport?
No. Sorry.
You've got to witness the Kumite. Okay?
Bless you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, this is probably a normal one. The Program.
I have seen that one.
Okay. Days of Thunder.
That one's a fun one. Have not seen Days of Thunder.
Gosh.
With Tom Cruise, right?
Yes.
The
Nicole
NASCAR
Kidman.
movie.
Yeah.
No, I've not taken that one in.
Okay.
So I'm 1 for 4 on watching your top 10.
White Man Can't Jump.
Have seen that one.
The original, not the remake. That was terrible.
Oh, I have not watched the remake.
I've seen clips, and I'm like,
Okay.
nope, not for me.
Okay.
Blue Chip.
Have seen it.
Okay.
Like it.
The Replacements.
Have seen it and like it.
Okay. Moneyball.
Have seen and like, yeah.
Okay.
Probably not. I don't think you've listed one that's inside my top 10 yet.
I know. Like I said,
We have very different lists. Okay, so
Remember the Titans.
okay, there's one that would
Possibly.
maybe be number 1. Yeah, it's up there in the top 3 to me.
And then Major League. The first one, maybe the second, but the first one for sure.
One. I'm trying to think if it's in my top 5 or so. Yeah,
Probably not. Probably these aren't, but
It's
these
high
are
on mine.
When I watch
Major League.
When I watch a movie, it's for entertainment. And then Rounders was close. I loved Rounders, but again, most people were like, not really a sports movie.
I mean, they put it on ESPN.
There you go.
I do like Rounders.
So, most of these wouldn't make people's top 10, and I understand that.
So
but
I haven't seen Bloodsport, Green Street Hooligans, and Days of Thunder. I think that was the only three I hadn't seen.
Okay. Green Street Hooligans is fantastic.
That's Channing Tatum?
No.
Are you sure? It looks like him on the cover.
It's not.
Okay, it looks like him. And then a fat version of Frodo? Is that him?
It's not fat.
He looks chunky in this one. Or his face is thicker than...
Elijah Wood?
Okay, that is not Channing Tatum.
No, that's Charlie
Hunnam?
Yeah.
Okay. I will I'll add these to my extensive list of movies I need to watch.
I don't think if anybody in here watched Green Street Hooligans, they wouldn't tell me it was an amazing movie. Not a Grammy, a very entertaining, fun, good movie. Not a kid movie.
Okay, not a kid movie.
Not a kid movie.
Good to know.
By any stretch of the imagination.
There we go.
So.
I mean, if we're going to call some of these movies sports movies, like Rounders or anything... Might as well call Jaws a sports movie.
I mean, Bobby
fishing in it.
Bobby Hot Dogs has a good one. Over the Top. That almost made it.
What is that one?
Arm wrestling.
There's a movie about arm wrestling?
Where have you been?
Apparently under a rock.
Over the Top was a good movie. All the Rockies were good, but I didn't... If you say Rocky, like if I can include all of it as a bulk package for one spot, then yeah, I mean, I watch the Rocky movies constantly, but
Rocky 4 is the best of the group.
That or 3 for me.
It's 4, 1, 3, 2 in my order.
Yeah, because I'm excluding like Rocky Balboa and the Creeds.
I don't think I've seen anything beyond 4. I don't think I ever watched.
Never seen 5?
I don't think I ever watched 5. I never watched Rocky
With Tommy
Balboa.
the Machine Gun?
I've seen Creed 1. No, I never saw 5.
Okay.
I was told not to because it wasn't.
Yeah, see, somebody put on, that's what I was going to tell you. Charlie was Jackson, Sons of Anarchy.
Okay.
So, but anyways, somebody
He's
on here
all shaven on this one.
Somebody put on here, you need to watch Bloodsport. Bloodsport was really good. That was an old Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
I'd take it in.
But
Whatever.
Green Street over all of them, hands down.
Anybody for The Longest Yard?
Oh, yeah.
That's
New, not old.
Longest Yard is a good movie.
Yeah. The new one is better than the old one.
I think most people refer to sports movies as like Hoosiers. Like, Remember the Titans, like something that is like...
What about The Sandlot? You didn't have that, or...
Sandlot was good.
Little Giants.
Don't mess with Icebox.
Oh, that's such a good movie. Best of the Best is a good sports movie. Never heard of it.
Man, you've never seen Best of the Best?
So many of these I haven't even heard of.
Man, the first and second one were great.
Okay, there's more than 2?
No, man.
Is this another karate movie?
It is.
You didn't even have Karate Kid on your sports movies.
Nowhere near a great movie.
Whoa. Eric says, I'm going Texas Tech versus Iowa State in Arlington. Okay. Lindale Jeff says they let people with jobs serve time on weekends.
I saw that.
And he's a defense lawyer. So
Smarter
there
than
you
me.
go. That makes sense. Wait, what if your job is on the weekend? Like Rashee Rice.
What if it was, but you told them I got to serve time, but you didn't report?
That's what I'm saying. Could he serve his five days a week during the week and then be around on game days? I don't even think you can be at games if you're suspended. So I'm guessing he'll get his suspension or his serving during suspension. Someone says, I don't care about TCU and Baylor as long as we play OSU yearly. I'm happy. Yeah, no. I mean,
I'd rather play Baylor.
Yeah, give me Baylor. I want the OSU thing to be a rivalry. That's the pod I would want, honestly. I don't think they would do that, but TCU, Baylor, Tech, and OSU, I think would be a solid pod. They would probably do the Texas schools and throw Houston in instead of OSU. But I think that would be a punishment to OSU. So I think you would, if you went to pods in the Big 12, you should listen to your incumbent teams more than your newcomers.
Would it be Arizona and the Utah schools?
Arizona State, and then the 2 Utahs. Yeah. I think so.
Who would be in the Oklahoma one?
It'd probably be Colorado, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Kansas State. I don't know. Just kind of group that together. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. That one would be...
Then UCF, West Virginia.
But then you're making Iowa State go east there.
Yeah.
Too. And with Cincinnati and West Virginia.
It's an easy pod, though.
Yeah.
So the pros and cons right now.
You might like it better. You might like it better. But I don't know. There are pros and cons to pods for sure. No doubt. Give me A&M yearly in Dallas at the Cotton Bowl and OSU. Only 2 rivals I want and need. That would be fine with me. I would love if you'd get back to playing A&M every single year. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Other conferences, other teams have figured out how to do this, where they have annual games against teams in a different conference, i.e. Georgia and Georgia Tech, Florida and Florida State. There are plenty of teams that can play in different conferences. Heck, Clemson and South Carolina, and play rivals outside of their conference. You just slot one spot for that game every year. Tech and A&M could easily do it. But the Aggies down south, a little afraid of what would happen.
Okay.
Now, have a good rest of your day.
Yeah.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yep.
We continue next with the bottom line on 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
So Wednesday with the bottom line on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. 100.7 The Score mobile app. Choice, Jamie and Brennan with you today. You'll keep the comments coming in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. All you Swifties and Kelsey E's. I don't think that's the thing. So I brought this up a little bit earlier. Jamie, I guess this is my... Man, I wish I remembered the phrase that the listener used a couple weeks ago. This is my victim rant. My weekly victim rant. Daily victim rant. And it's not victim. It's jealousy today. I'm jealous of how the SEC has decided to approach their 9-game schedule.
Okay.
They've whipped the Big 12's butt on this.
All right.
They have decided to do the whole pod approach.
Makes sense.
Why can't we do this? Why can we not have pods in the Big 12? Because this seems to make a lot of sense.
Yeah, you get the rivalry aspect of it, right? That you don't lose games in great rivalries. You don't have to sit out certain years because of it.
You wouldn't have a year like this year where you have no TCU or Baylor.
TCU and Baylor, yeah. At the same time, you accept that could mean that it could make the schedules loaded difficult or loaded easier for certain teams over for certain stretches.
I think the pods approach is the happy medium between divisions and not having anything at all. Because divisions, we've seen that way too many times in the Big 12. And really, we saw it in the SEC for years, where the SEC West was loaded and the East was pretty light. You might have one good team in the East, 1.5. The Big 12 North versus the Big 12 South. I mean, time and time again, the South just ran circles around the North, but a North team still got to play in the championship. So I get the not wanting divisions approach. But the pods is like what you've got in the NFL. It's basically a division within your conference. A 4-team division. You can have 3 others that you play every single year. Mm-hmm. And then you can rotate around and play the rest. Yes, it's not going to always be a perfect system or be equal, but you still get rivalries, and you don't have years like you have this year or like you had 2 years ago where we didn't play Oklahoma State. So I am jealous, and people have talked about this on the chat line, so we brought it up a little bit earlier. One of the texts was, what happens when every team in the pod and the other pods are much weaker? Well, you get it just like the NFL would. There's times where there's a weak division in the NFL. And you take that. You don't...
It happens.
It does happen. But,
it does.
But that's not the norm. Normally, you have at least some balance. Do you think every year that one division or one pod is going to be better than the rest?
Well, which ones? You have to show me the pods, right?
Okay, we could do that.
If who is Texas Tech's pod? The 4 Texas schools.
So if it depends if you're going pods of 4 or pods of.
Because the Arizonas and the Utahs.
I guess 4 would have to be it. So
and
one I saw was
but then
Oklahoma
there's-
State Tech. Here's what Heartland went over this day or two ago when the SEC announced their pods and said this is what it could look like. And I think I'm in line with most of these. The Southern pod would be Oklahoma State, Tech, TCU, and Baylor. And I think that's more of a nod towards Oklahoma State of being around for a while because you wouldn't want to punish them and make them go. So here's the entire grouping they have. The Western, this one makes tons of sense. Utah, BYU, Arizona State. That one's perfectly geographically sound. Then you go the Northern group of Colorado, Iowa State, Kansas State, and Kansas. Okay? Makes a lot of sense. Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, TCU, and Baylor. And then the Eastern pod are the leftovers. Houston, Cincinnati, West Virginia, and UCF. Houston's the one that gets screwed the most out of all of that.
Wow.
Well,
They really do. They really do.
basically it would have to be that way. Either that or you're grouping Oklahoma State into the Northern pod and throwing Iowa State out east. That's the other option. Because UCF is so far over, it's just... It is what it is. Someone's going to probably be less happy than the others, but with those pods, you're appeasing 13, 14 teams out of the league.
Appeasing pods.
Peas and pods. Yeah. It just makes a lot of sense. I don't know why we won't see it or don't see it.
So which of that grouping do you think over the course of the next 10 years will be the toughest pod?
Oh, I think you're in it. I think Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, TCU, and Baylor.
Yeah, we'll have to
Because you're the closest to the Metroplex.
We'll have to see what happens with Oklahoma State. But you would think they're not going to stay down.
Correct. But I think that's also part of it, though. Most of these things are cyclical. Most of the time, you will have a bad year from Oklahoma State or from a Baylor or from whomever.
I don't know. The pod to the west is pretty tough.
I think that's the second one for sure. Utah, BYU, Arizona State.
I mean, right now, the only one that's not good is Arizona.
But I think that's where you look at it and say, okay, this is why you're not in divisions, though. This is why you're not in north-south, split in half.
Yeah.
Because you still are going to get to play other teams. So even if you have 3 7-2 teams in one division, is that mathematically possible? Yeah, I guess it would be. You could have 3 7-2 teams in one division and still have 2 come out of the champion or go to a championship from that division. It doesn't eliminate the possibility.
Yeah.
Even if that's the toughest pod, if the 2 best teams are there, it still gives possibility.
Are we playing semifinal games to get into the
I don't know.
Big 12 championship
I don't think
game?
you're going that far. I think the SEC did it right here, and I think...
Yeah. I think I, for the most part, agree with you, Choice. I think I want the rivalries, but at the same time, I kind of feel like maybe it's not exactly the same, but I kind of feel like all the Big 12 teams, I feel a rivalry with them. All the Big 12 teams, I do. It's not the same with UCF or Cincinnati. You're right, but there's not many of them that I feel that way about. That I don't have some sort of...
Yeah, I get that, but
those are 2, and they're...
But there's an elevated hatred for TCU.
Yeah,
there's an elevated hatred for Baylor.
You're absolutely right.
And that's where, I keep bringing it up, but it's true. It is a travesty, and that's an exaggeration of a word, but it's terrible and dumb that you're going to break a streak that you've had going since 1956 this year of not playing Baylor.
Yeah.
That's dumb. Why? For what? This isn't like they left the conference and that's why the streak is breaking, like Texas A&M.
But let's be honest, they're going to be good this year, so maybe it's a good thing.
We have all.
It's like the right year.
Everybody's picked Tech and Baylor in the Big 12 championship, according to not everybody. We went through those earlier, and that was quite an interesting grouping, which y'all can see up at doubletsportsnetwork.com. Our staff predictions of the Big 12 championship. But man, I hate that. I legitimately hate that you don't have Baylor on your schedule, even more so than TCU. I probably have more disdain for TCU, but your longer-standing rival is Baylor. So it's and I hate it even more, Jamie, that some teams got that partner. I guess what did they call them then? Basically, your rival, where you play them every year, and some didn't get it. And Texas Tech was in the category that you didn't get.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Someone said pods that would make the most sense. Pac pod, ASU, Arizona, Utah, BYU. Big 8 pod, OSU, Kansas, Kansas State, and Colorado. Southwest Conference pod, Tech, Baylor, TCU, Houston. Conference USA, Cincy, UCF, West Virginia, and Iowa State.
Can we name them those also?
Everything makes sense except for the Conference USA. Alternative would be CU in the Pac, and basically the same things we talked about. But I don't know. I don't know if we'll get to it. We'll probably see the SEC have success with it, and then Big 12 visits it 3 years from now in 2028. It is the bottom line. Got a question of the day up next on 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
It's a Wednesday with the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Chois Woodman, Jamie Lent, Brennan, and Jimmy all with you till 3 o'clock today. We'll return to a handful of your thoughts on the Yates Flooring Center chat line coming up shortly. But first, Brennan's got the question.
Time now for Jamie's question of the day on 100.7 The Score. Brought to you by someone not named Jamie and presented by Connecticut of West Texas. Life's hard, your water shouldn't be.
So yesterday, Tech basketball officially announced when they're playing Duke, and they have a very cool non-conference schedule built with Illinois, Duke, and LSU, and a potential to play Purdue on the schedule. So I've thought about Texas Tech football.
Anybody else like how Brendan says Purdue?
Purdue. Yeah, I did like that.
Like hairdo.
You did really go in on Purdue.
I have
That's
a weird
the chicken brand, right?
Brock Purdy.
I have a weird way of pronouncing things.
Okay, well,
bear with me, folks.
Okay.
It's okay.
We'll bear
I
with you.
enjoyed it.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy how I pronounce things.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of logistics that go into Texas Tech football's non-conference schedules, but it'd be really cool to have some quality non-conference games that folks really look forward to. So I'm going to draw up a scenario here. Texas Tech is coming to you guys, and they want you to pick 2 non-conference games or 2 opponents for the non-conference to play against. Who are you playing? Who are your 2 games, and why are you picking those games?
This is basketball, correct?
Football.
Oh, football. Football. So we get to pick 2. Is this a home and home for the future? Is
This is just for the 2026 season.
For next year.
Just for next year. Coming off of however good, whatever success looks like for this year, going into 2026, who are your 2? Because your one freebie is you're probably going to play an FCS team.
Okay.
And so that we're not going to worry about that one.
Locale doesn't matter?
No.
Okay. You got yours?
I got mine.
Go for it.
I want I want to go one home and one on the road.
Dang it! I bet we are the exact same.
I want Notre Dame at home. I want LSU on the road.
Ooh, okay. We were close.
And I definitely want to go to Baton Rouge.
I think I have to go based off of my preaching from just a little bit ago. I mean, I got a little preachy, so give me A&M at home and give me Notre Dame on the road. Though, I think LSU may be the top of my bucket list stadiums to go to, so that would be just as enticing to me, if not more, to go to a Death Valley game at night. But I'm also looking for the Red Raiders to win. That is one of the hardest games to win, is LSU on the road. So
fair enough.
I'm not saying
they've kind of had some up and down seasons, though.
Sure they have. I'm not saying that South Bend's easy either. Touchdown Jesus or anything, but man, there's a lot of places. There's a lot of places I'd pick. But I want old rivalries restored. So if I had my druthers, Jamie, I'm bringing Texas A&M to Jones Stadium next year.
You're bringing all their people too.
No, we're going to drown them out. After you play in the college football playoff.
We're going to allow them to buy tickets.
What?
There are going to be a bunch of them here.
That are punching each other while the goalposts are coming down?
Swinging binoculars at each other.
Swinging binoculars. Throwing fake feces. Swinging binoculars. Throwing fake feces on a bus and blaming it on us. I don't remember the exact story there, but it was...
I thought it was fish bait.
Yes, but they called it feces.
Okay.
I think they ended up testing it. It was fish bait.
Tested it.
I think so, if I remember the whole story correctly, because their AD accused Tech fans of throwing doo-doo on their bus. And then, yeah, I don't know.
So I kind of like the Notre Dame. Like, I think that'd be really cool.
Oh man, I think
for Texas Tech.
Notre Dame's up there.
Obviously, I wouldn't mind Texas A&M. I don't think they have any interest at all.
No, they
in
wouldn't.
Playing in Lubbock.
But you said I get to hold them at gunpoint here.
I didn't say gunpoint.
Okay.
Let's say
you said we get to force them. So
through legal
that's
terms.
That's
through
probably
legal
what it would
terms.
take.
I mean, a contract you gotta abide by. I would go a road game at SMU and a home game against Oklahoma.
Road game SMU, home game Oklahoma.
Why SMU?
And why Oklahoma?
I want SMU because they're now a quote-unquote Power 4 team. I think that would be a good test away from Lubbock. Not necessarily about the atmosphere, but I think that would be a good team to play. They're in the state. Then I want Oklahoma in Lubbock because I think you can beat Oklahoma. And it's still a name, but it's nothing out of depth. You're not bringing Texas to town. You're not bringing Georgia to town. But people would still show up for you to play against Oklahoma.
Oh, sure they would.
I am curious to see how many of these matchups change over the next few years. Because one announcement we got today, maybe it was yesterday, can't remember, but is Alabama and West Virginia are canceling their series, Jamie, in the future because Bama now has less games to work with in the future.
Sure.
So they had a 20, I think it was 26 and 27? I'm trying to pull it up. But a future non-conference series, yeah, it was supposed to start in...
Well, that stinks for West Virginia.
Yeah, next year. So West Virginia's got to find a game next year. No, it doesn't stink for them. The headline here says, or the first line says, Alabama and West Virginia mutually agreed to cancel their home series. Sure, that happened.
Sure. Dude.
I don't know. Maybe there was some mutual to it where Rich Rod's like, there is no way we have our program ready to play Alabama next year. Zero chance. So we'll be glad to cancel that, and we'll pick up a Kent State. Don't know.
Maybe.
But I'm ready to get to the point, Jamie, where we're sitting here in the off season and eagerly anticipating a schedule, like people do with the NFL schedules. I think that will come at some point in college football.
You think so?
I do. If we get to the giant league that people talk about,
Yeah, maybe
if we
so.
get there, I think it will be you'll have some sort of scheduling rotation like you have in the NFL, and you'll have, okay, this group's playing this group this year, or top 3 from here are playing top 3 from here. I don't know exactly what it looks like, but it feels like you're gonna get something along those lines, because we're in some silliness territory of scheduling games 10, 12 years out.
Right.
Like right now, I think we do have. Can you guess at what Tech's longest scheduled out game is?
Isn't there like a 32?
I think you're right. I'm pulling it up right now.
Is that the Oregon game?
I think
what I
the
was
Oregon
thinking.
game is in the 2030s.
Mm-hmm.
I think it may be even beyond that. But that's crazy. We don't need that. And the only reason it continues to happen is because people are afraid they're not going to get a game in time. Oh, we were wrong. It's 2033.
33.
At Oregon. We got the whole schedule filled out for 32, Jamie.
Do we? Who we got?
Washington State, Fresno State, and at UTEP. What? I don't think that's going to happen. I think 7 years from now we're going to
Yeah, in
change
2
that up a
years
little bit.
you're supposed to go to North Texas.
Yeah, I was looking at that. In 27, you've got a road trip at North Texas. And then I think you're on the rotation where that would only leave 6 home games, which we didn't want that this year. So
No.
I'm not sure we're going to Denton that year. We'll see. But, yeah, I'd like to see the scheduling change a little bit.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Hey, what's good? Happy Hump Day. Welcome back. This is The Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score, 107 The Score mobile app, as well as yours on television, Fox 34 News Now, DoubleTSportsNetwork.com. Plenty of ways to take us in, and glad you've decided to do so on this Wednesday afternoon. Alongside Jamie Lent, I'm Chois Woodman. Jimmy Cook and Brennan Riker across the way. Y'all continue to chime in if you'd like to. We welcome your thoughts, comments, questions, opinions, score predictions. Never too early for that. For Saturday. You can give us season predictions as well. Whatever you got, bring it in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line through the 100.7 The Score mobile app, which you can carry anywhere with you, even listening out in Savage, Maryland.
Tomorrow we will post a story with everybody's predictions for this weekend.
Uh-oh. Wait, those are public? I thought I was just sending that to you in private. That you just wanted them for yourself. I don't even remember my exact score. I have an idea, but can't remember.
I think
You made me commit too early in the week.
I'm pretty sure everybody's picked the Red Raiders.
I would hope so. For this week in particular. Oh, Jamie, I'm bothered.
This sounds like the start of a dad joke.
No, this is real.
Okay.
I'm bothered.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You talked about a graphic with, I think it was ESPN's graphic about Big 12 quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I think you talked about this at the end of last week. So ESPN posted an article today on their website. This is from Adam Rittenberg. Intel on college football's top quarterbacks of 2025. And they go through each of the power conferences.
Okay.
They have guys like Garrett Nussmeier of LSU, Lenora Sellers, which, by the way, I don't think is that great of a quarterback. That's South Carolina. But no one probably cares.
Feels like as the offseason has gone along, he's gotten more and more hype.
I've watched a couple of replays in here of him and not impressed at all. Marcel Reed of A&M, Great at running the football. Don't think he can sling it that well.
Can't dodge a right hook.
What are you talking about? There's
we have confirmation that story is true yet.
I haven't.
Or are we just going to allow it to be true?
I
no
think
matter
we'll
if
let
it's
it be
not?
legend. I think the legendary status of it is just great, especially if Micah Hudson comes and succeeds here.
Yeah.
It's going to go into the annals of history and Texas Tech lore. Anyway, so there's a Big 12 section. They list Sam Leavitt. They list Josh Hoover, Avery Johnson, Rocco Becht, Sawyer Robertson, Jalen Daniels, Devin Dampier, and that's it. There's more Big 12 quarterbacks than any other league on their list. But no Behren Morton. And I'm bothered. For Behren Morton, the opportunity is here to let your game speak for itself.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's the good news. He can let his game speak. But I don't understand where the disconnect is. He's the second leading passer in the league last year. I will say, I don't understand QBR very well. I don't understand what all goes into it. It goes with yards per attempt, and there's all sorts of stuff that goes into it. And Behren Morton's QBR was not that good last year. Yet you look at his stats compared to others, and they were better than some of the other quarterbacks when you're going by yards and touchdown to interception ratio.
And you got to believe that there are certain people out there that are judging these quarterbacks and saying, oh, yeah, Texas Tech, they throw the ball all over the yard, and not noticing the fact that they had a guy last year that led them with over 1,500 yards on the ground and became their all-time leading rusher, and their offense was built around getting him the ball and getting him the record and all of the above.
Tech had the fourth best scoring offense in college football last year.
Yeah.
Fourth best. You had the ninth best
and Behren Morton
overall
started
offense.
Every game except the bowl game.
Ninth best overall offense. Behren Morton, look at the other quarterbacks that are on this list. Klubnik at Clemson. He racked up 3,600 yards, 36-6 on touchdown to interception. Good numbers.
Pretty impressive.
That was over 14 games. Behren played 12. Remember that. Drew Aller in
11 and a half, really.
True. Drew Aller at Penn State, 16 games he played. 33-27 in yardage, under Behren Morton's number. 24 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Behren is 33-35, 27-8. Better touchdown to interception ratio. John Mateer at OU, which was at Washington State last year. Lesser competition, 3,100 yards, 29-7.
Mateer probably gave you more rushing yards.
Sawyer Robertson, harder to judge because he didn't play the whole season. He had some really good numbers.
Yep. Looked good
28
in
and
his
8.
time.
And then Maddox Madsen at Boise State, who was a transfer from, I don't remember, 3,000 yards, 23-6. Very, very similar numbers for these guys that are getting talked about as the best in the country. Not the best in the Big 12, but the best in the country. I don't understand the disconnect. I don't.
It really feels like there's less doubting of Texas Tech as a whole this year than there is Behren Morton. There's more doubting of Behren Morton individually. And for those that are doubting Texas Tech, you'd have to think that they're going to point to Behren Morton at this point.
I guess that's it. Maybe that's the fallback for so many people. This is why I'm not picking Texas Tech.
Well, just like you and I might say, hey, I'm not sold on Kansas State because I'm not sold on
that could be it.
Avery Johnson or his family. But
or his family.
Maybe that's what people are saying about Behren Morton and Texas Tech.
But I'm actually basing it off of what I've seen in Avery Johnson and his numbers and
his family.
And his family. Videos on the internet.
Yeah,
I didn't actually see that. So I don't know. I feel like I've turned into a Behren Morton hype club because I'm just getting so angered and ticked off with.
Yeah, don't get angry. Get angry. He's gonna get it. Don't get angry. I mean, he's gonna get his shot.
And that's where I shouldn't get upset.
Yeah, he's gonna get his shot.
But
If Behren wants to shut these people up, go do it on the field.
He will. And
go do it on the field.
Behren Morton, Jamie, in games he has started and finished, his Texas Tech career, 14-4.
Yeah.
We judge quarterbacks
Yep.
on their wins and losses.
Yep.
14-4 in games he started and finished. So if you can have him on the field, start and finish games this year, I feel really good about your chances. Because Behren Morton by no means is a bus driver, but he's not going to have to. There may be a game or two where he has to go make huge plays and win it, like he had to make big plays in the Iowa State game and a couple others last year. But this is a season where you've got a ton of good pieces around him. You've got a defense that should be able to elevate your team. Behren Morton, if he's what he was last year, and your defense is what you are hoping it's supposed to be, the improvement level, that's why you should be playing in Arlington this year. That's all it takes is Behren being as good as he was last year. And there's many that think he'll be better because, well, he's got a healthy wing over there on the right arm.
This has been the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 100-7thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.